And weirdly, we suddenly seem to be in August, which is, I don't know how that happened. I don't know where the rest of the I don't even know where the rest of the year went. Anyway, oh, excuse me. I'm Russ Kane. This is the Midday Show. This will be my last broadcast for a little bit. Off into hospital next week, having a bit of an op, then some recuperation, and then with a fair wind, I will be back. Worse than ever. That's for damn sure. You know him. You love him. Got a packed show today. You know him. You love him. He is the man that if you need a gin and tonic in the theatre, you just go, Jonathan, could you? And he'll be back within 30 seconds. Don't know how he does it. I think he knows every single Australian behind every bar in the whole of London. Ladies, and the home counties, obviously. Ladies and gentlemen, our very own wonderful, fearless, brave, outspoken theatre critic, JB, the man, Jonathan Baz.
Russ, good afternoon. A very happy August the 1st to you.
Where have you gone? You've disappeared somehow. Don't know where you are. Okay, I don't know. There we are. Okay, you're back.
Very good.
Great.
Jolly good. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. And it's been a few weeks since I was here last, having been trekking up and down the hills of the Lake District and all points northwest, east, and south.
Can I ask why?
Yes, yes, but I've got so many blinking shows to talk about. I don't want to talk
Carry
too long.
on.
Yes,
All right. I went with the Lake District and your trekking. I don't care. I was being
climbing a Via Ferrata, which, to be honest, sounds like a dessert, but it was far more challenging.
I thought that was an espresso with ice cream.
Hey, anyway, right. Since I was here last, recently opened a couple of weeks ago in the West End, a show which has transferred in from the National Theatre, Till the Stars Come Down, written by a very talented playwright, Beth Steele. It's new writing. It was gorgeous last year at the National. It's got even better in crossing the river over to Theatre Royal Haymarket. This is a play brilliantly well observed of life in a northern town that once upon a time had a thriving, thriving is the wrong word, a very productive and busy coal pit. That, of course, long since been closed down, and the way the world has moved on, a large chunk of the Polish community has moved into the environs, and this play is all about the wedding between one of three sisters and a Polish chap who's now resident in the UK, and the dynamics that go on within that family. And Beth Steele, the writer, just has a brilliant eye for dialogue, for nuance, for aspects within this family. I mean, there are bits of it that are nightmarish, bits of it that are hilarious.
In what way are they nightmarish?
Well, there's nightmarish in terms of unspoken secrets and lies and lusts and infidelities, etc., that have gone on. And Beth Steele taps into the bigotry of those people who've seen their community changed by the way the years have gone by. She also taps into some aspects of family comedy that are so relatable and so familiar, and it's a brilliant piece of writing.
I've heard it's very, very good. I've heard
it's a mixture, and I saw it last year at the National. I thought it was good, 4 stars. This time round, I think it's 5-star good.
Wow.
The end game, the finale, actually was so tragically painful in some aspects that it brought a tear. It was so brilliantly played out. I'm not going to say why, because it's so easy in a review to give spoilers.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not going to do that. All I'm going to say is, and I'm just looking at my review, it's a story about love, desire, resentment, aging, grief, and bigotry, all with a huge amount of humor, very clever humor blended into it. So that is Till the Stars Come Down, which is on at the Theatre Royal Haymarket until the 27th of September. There is a gorgeous performance in it from Dorothy Atkinson, who you may or may not have heard of.
I was in Panto with Dorothy Atkinson.
I was
in Panto with her. I remember her.
Terrific. She plays Auntie Carol.
God.
She plays Auntie
Oh,
Carol, who is just a most brilliantly created character, a very wise woman who is as monstrous as she is wise. She's given the best of the pithy, funny one-liners. And the
that's
things
so
I said,
weird, JB, because that's a name I haven't thought of in God knows how many years.
how
And you said that,
lovely,
I thought, yeah, I've done
how
panto
lovely.
with that. Yeah,
How lovely. Well, she's
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah,
Comical brilliance.
yeah.
So for an eve for a really good night at the theatre, yeah, Till the Stars Come Down at the Haymarket. Playing for 2 more weeks on London's Fringe down at the Southwark Playhouse
Right.
is a play called The White Chip. The white chip being, of course, well, not of course, because not everyone will be familiar with it, a token that's given out at Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, particularly in the
Oh,
USA,
okay.
I understand.
Okay.
It's to do with part of the program and part of the 12 steps journey. Um, and This is it's a short play. It's only an hour and a bit. I think it's an hour. Yeah,
My
one
kind of
hour. To be
play.
fair, no. To be fair, 1 hour 40 with no
Oh,
interval.
mm.
A chappie called Ed Coleman plays the lead, and it's a play about this poor chap's journey through his addiction to alcohol. Uh, it is a tough night at the theatre. I
Ooh.
actually found it really tough. He was brilliant. The script is tight. It's a non-stop roller coaster road, bits of humor, lots of challenges, family, work, etc., etc. I have to say, it's very good theatre. It's well directed, well produced. The producer, Danielle Torrento, who is an absolute master of putting on good shows on London's Fringe. And she recently had a very sensible plea that she put out on Facebook when tickets are not selling well, saying, for heaven's sake, people, we're doing a show here where top price is 40 quid. Buy our blinking tickets. We've got good,
That's good
hard-working
of her.
actors
That was
telling a
good of
good
her.
story.
Did it have a Did it have a reaction,
I'm not
Jonathan?
sure what her current. I'm not sure what the ticket sales have got, but I absolutely get. She's put on good theatre. I've got
Yeah.
to be honest. It's hard work. You go and see that play, you're going to come out of it reeling, but it is a fantastic comment on the ghastliness of addiction that is brilliantly performed.
So through the drama, do you, as a member of the audience, learn more?
Yeah, you do. But there's so
Mm.
much. It's like a 3-year degree course crammed into 1 hour 40
Oh
minutes.
God.
And I literally came out drained, not because it had punched me so hard, which it did punch hard, but just the sheer volume of what are crammed into so many scenes and vignettes.
Mm.
It's one guy with 2 supporting actors who dip in and out of a multitude of other roles. As I say, the quality of the drama on stage is very, very good, but it's tough. To go and see it, in my opinion, is quite a tough gig. And but go if good, well acted drama at a very, very affordable price is something that would appeal, then go and see it. As I say, it's only on for 1 more week till August the 10th. I'd have mentioned it earlier, but I've not been here for 4 weeks, so that's my fault, as it were.
Look,
But
it's life.
good
It's
theatre,
life. Life gets in the way of what you plan.
indeed. Good theatre,
Oh, tell me
nonetheless.
about it.
On the opposite end of the scale of
Uh-oh.
sheer beautiful, enjoyable entertainment is the musical The Addams Family, based on the Addams Family of indeed. And we all have a click along at the beginning and the end of the show.
Oh, right.
It draws from, of course, the New Yorker's cartoon characters, and then, of course, the TV and movie spin-offs that the Addams Family became.
Yeah.
This musical was the book of the musical was written by Marshall Brickman and Rick.
Oh.
Yeah, fine.
Oh, wow.
Brickman's a clever guy.
Just a bit.
Yeah,
Just a bit. If
indeed.
I could write a tenth as well as he does, I'd be a happy
Oh
punter.
no, you do.
You're very kind. No, Marshall Brickman is one of my heroes. He's an amazing writer.
So
Great.
he's written a good book. And a chappie called Andrew Lipper has written the music and the lyrics to the show. But what makes this show really soar, and it was 5 stars for me. I made the trip up to Leicester, and I'm really glad that I
And
did.
made it back.
Indeed, well, quite. The two leads, a chappie called Ricardo Afonso, who certainly has impeccable Latin credentials, plays Gomez, and
Right.
Alexandra Burke is Morticia.
No, you're
She is
kidding me.
no, she is Morticia, and she
Alexandra Burke. Well, X
Alexandra
Factor
Burke.
or whatever she was. I don't know.
Indeed,
She was
indeed, and hallelujah,
Popeye.
she's playing. Oh, you see what I did there? She's
No.
Morticia.
Oh,
Well, she had a
okay.
hit single with Hallelujah, I
Did
believe.
she? Oh,
I
what Leonard
think
Cohen's
so.
song?
I
Yeah,
think she took Leonard Cohen's song and added
and
a few
ruined
more
it. Yeah,
millions
and
to
killed it.
his
Stone
estate.
killed it. Stone dead. Yeah. So Alexandra Burke. Wow.
But it's not just those two. The supporting characters are
Uncle Fester.
really brilliant. Uncle Fester is played by Clive Rowe. I hope that name means
Oh
something
yeah,
to
we
you.
love Clive Rowe.
Clive Rowe is a
Yeah,
flipping genius.
terrific actor.
He is a terrific
Yeah,
actor,
he's a great
and
actor.
he makes whatever there is to be squeezed out of Fester,
He
he
just
squeezes
rinses
it
it,
out.
right? He rinses
Oh,
every line. Good
I
for him.
was,
Good for
he's
him.
just brilliant. There is then the old grandmother, and who, of course, Gomez and Morticia realise the old grandmother is actually neither of theirs mother, and they're not quite sure how she's
Oh,
ended up in
I've
their
forgotten that.
household.
I've
The
forgotten
old
that story.
grandmother is 102 in
I know how
real
she
life as
feels.
the character's age, and however, in back here on planet Earth, she's played by the fantastic Leslie Joseph, who's
Oh,
got a
what a
long way to go
cast!
before she reaches.
What
Indeed,
a
what
cast!
a
Love
cast!
Leslie Joseph.
I have
Absolutely love her.
to
She's
say,
great.
I
Nice
just
woman
sat
too.
there. I was grinning.
Where's this on at?
It's on at Leicester. It's on at
Oh, in
Leicester
Leicester.
until the 10th of August. So, in fact, the White Chip. Let me be clear: the White Chip is on until the 16th of August. The Adams Family is only on in Leicester. Excuse me, for one more week. It then has a tour. And yes, I can just take a quick look at
Coming,
what the tour
yeah,
dates are.
coming
The
anywhere near
tour
us?
dates are so it's leaving Leicester.
Mm,
The nearest is Canterbury. It's only a short tour. It's going to Salford, Canterbury, and Blackpool.
Blackpool. Oh, it'll do well in Blackpool. That's a good Blackpool show.
It's
Shame it's not coming
it's
south.
yeah. I mean, in fact, it started off in Birmingham. So I mean, it has already. I mean, many years ago, I reviewed this show with a different cast. I believe it was on at Wimbledon then. I don't
Oh
think it's
yeah.
ever had a major West End run.
No.
But to be honest, with this cast and this production, if they can sort out people's contracts and get the right venue, the producer of this particular show is a lovely woman called Katie Lipson, who really has a thorough understanding of what makes this show in particular work.
Catchy
Um,
tunes?
yes, yeah. Don't ask me to hum any of them other
No,
than the
thank God. No, please.
'cause
I'm in
so
enough pain as it is, Jonathan. You singing would just send
you'll
me over the edge.
you'll be spared that.
Thank
But
Christ.
it is just a brilliant, brilliant night
Is
at the
it? Have I got the
theatre.
right show? Is that with? Oh God, Wednesday. The
Yes,
little girl.
Wednesday. Yes,
So who's
Wednesday.
she? Who's that?
Wednesday. The
Who's that
girl
kid?
who plays Wednesday is Lauren Jones, an actress, far
Not
more
Alison
started.
Hammond, then.
Not Alison. Funnily enough,
Okay, just
funny you should
checking. Just
mention that.
checking for casting.
And the musical revolves around some frothy love story about Wednesday falls in love with an ordinary bloke from the ordinary world,
Oh
um,
God, poor
called
fella,
Lucas.
poor
And
man.
there's and so this is Marshall Brickman's brilliance, and the show revolves around Lucas, who's the young man played by Jacob Fowler, bringing his parents to dinner.
Oh
The family
God.
of the Adams
You see
family
that? Isn't
is
it
it's
interesting, right? You've given one line. It revolves around an ordinary family coming to dinner to meet the Adams family. You don't need to know any more about that because the comedic, the wealth, it's such a rich vein of comedy. Just that one line that you've given me, that sold it to me. That's hilarious.
And so the
Beautiful.
ordinary family, it's the young man, and
Yeah.
he's accompanied by his parents, who
Yeah.
are played by Dale Rapley, and his mum is played by a fabulous performer, and I'm just looking to her name, so bear with me a
Sophie Tucker.
second. Cara Lane, who in the big number before the interval, she has the most massive song to sing. She takes the roof off Leicester Curve,
Brilliant.
just before the interval, and the
Brilliant.
humour, as you just spotted just by that one liner, the
Sure.
humour that Marshall Brickman and Rick Elise extract from the potential of these families, these worlds colliding.
Yeah. Well, it's like, if you think about it, JB, it's like La Cage aux Folles, when they have to meet the family and they're coming for dinner, and with Nathan Lane, Robin Williams, a beautiful film.
Yep.
And it's the same kind of premise, because you think this is going to go disastrously wrong, and you're sitting on the edge of your seat waiting for the disaster.
I hope it comes into town so that more people can see it. Who knows? It's just lovely. If you're short of a weekend away and you want to go up north a bit and see a good show, it's brilliant. You won't see a better cast. You will
planning a weekend away in Leicester, but thank you for
you will not see a better cast delivering musical.
It's a terrific cast, isn't it? And isn't it interesting when just to divert for a sec, but it's always interesting. You think, oh, I wonder whatever happened to so and so. You don't hear about them. You wonder what happened to that actor and that actress. I wonder what they're doing. And they're on tour. They're on tour, and we just don't get to hear about it. It's not like they're not working and sitting at home waiting for the phone to ring or whatever.
No, they're living out of a bloody suitcase.
They're living out of a suitcase in a hotel, in the boarding house, and all the rest of it. They're doing it the old way.
Yep. And at tickets that are affordable as well, which is generally the way outside of the West End.
Yeah, well, the West End's insane. So, unless you're on a press list, I don't know how anybody does it. I couldn't.
So, moving on, what else have I seen in the last 2 weeks? Sing Street. Did you ever see that movie from 2016?
Never heard of it.
May not. Okay, fine. I've got to be honest.
Sing Street.
I was not too familiar with it either. This is a movie. The movie came out in 2016, written and directed by a chappie called John Carney. It's about the power of music. There's young lads in Dublin in 1980s poverty who escape the oppressiveness of a pretty ghastly Catholic school and the poverty of the town by setting up a band, and he falls in love with a girl, and there's a very lovely happy ending. And along the way, there's a bit of music and some good tunes. I found
sounds like The Commitments.
Indeed, yes, but set in Dublin. In fact, The Commitments was Irish, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah, sure.
So the other remarkable thing about this production is the cast are nearly all actor musicians, which means they're on stage acting, singing, and being the band as well. And they're all brilliant in that respect. Very, very talented young people, number of whom making their debuts. As a show, firstly, it's on at the Lyric Hammersmith. So that also makes ticket prices deliciously affordable. And
parking impossible.
Well, quite.
Don't try and park in Hammersmith.
No. I don't even drive there. But it is, however, served. It's served by 1 million tube lines. So that helps.
Yeah.
And it's fun. For me personally, I didn't rate it as an outstanding night at the theatre. I found the first night, got to be honest, the first half dragged a bit. The second half, however, absolutely came alive, and I found at times my spirits were soaring.
And you don't mean your gin and tonic?
Indeed, I don't mean my gin
and tonic. You mean your emotional spirits. Just being clear, because we have people watching from all over the world, they may not get the nuance.
That was held. My gin and tonic was firmly in my grasp.
I bet it bloody was.
That did that. I don't know that sort.
I've been to the theatre often enough with you to know that as a fact.
So that is Sing Street. It's playing
Okay.
at the Lyric Hammersmith until August the 23rd. It is new writing, as I say, taken from this movie of 9 or 10 years ago.
Right.
If you want to, if you're of a mind to want to go and see a show that for the most part will entertain you, will certainly have your feet tapping. You'll see some brilliant young performers. Go. It's not going to cost you a fortune, and it's good theatre. Could be better, but it's good. Moving on to
You've
closer
been the
to
busiest man
it
in the
has been.
world.
It's been a while. And what I'm quite pleased about, excuse me, while I blow my own trumpet and
You
blow
do.
smoke up my
And
own
strain your back
derriere,
and strain your back while you pat yourself there.
it
Go on.
is also to try and get out and about a bit because we've touched on Leicester, where I was at for the Addams Family, and then
Hmm.
last week down in Chichester to see their summer musical, which is Top Hat.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. Okay.
Top
That's
Hat.
brave.
Top Hat, of course, was a brilliant 1930s RKO motion picture starring Bing Crosby, not Bing Crosby, Fred
Yeah.
Astaire and
Fred
Ginger
Astaire.
Rogers. Why say
Fred,
Bing Crosby, for
I
God's
don't
sake?
know, because if
Sorry
only
about that.
you were a theatre critic.
Yeah, what do I know? That's
It
because I
was,
ventured. That's because I ventured into the land of film in that brief moment of
yeah.
conversation. And,
We leave that to Chantal.
yes, sir. And Chantal cracked a lightning bolt at me and screwed up my
Did she?
dialogue.
All the way from West
It
London. Yeah.
indeed.
Anyway,
So anyway,
it was a gorgeous film. It was
it was
to
a
use your
gorgeous
phrase,
film.
it was a lovely film.
It's a lovely, lovely film. And
Classic film.
back in 2011, it was converted into a stage show.
Wow.
And some of my fellow critics been a little bit sniffy about this production. One in
Because
particular,
why?
because they said it should never have been made into a stage show. The film was brilliant, and it's such a ghastly book version, or way it's been translated. Anyway, I should not be so negative because I really, really enjoyed the evening.
There
Press
you
night was
go.
a bit of a challenge because, much to the cast's surprise, condensation had settled on the stage, and as this fabulous
Oh,
lineup of dancing girls came out to do the opening number, two of them slipped and tripped,
of course they would. Oh my
which was
God!
a
How the hell did
blinking
that?
tough way to start any show, let alone in front of an audience with a large number of critics in there. The show, of course, was stopped. Out came some stagehands with mops. The director, very talented woman over from New York, Kathleen Marshall. If you saw the Anything Goes, that was the Barbican 2 or 3 years ago,
Yep.
that was her. That was her.
It was terrific. Yeah.
She knows her way around a big show. And in this show, the song and dance is gorgeous. The two people are taking the Fred and Ginger slots are Philip Atmore, who's been flown in from the United States as Jerry Travers, and a charming and talented actress, Lucy St. Louis. Don't say that after a few gin and tonics.
Say that again. Go on, I dare you.
Lucy St. Louis as Dale Trevor.
Hardly a stage name at all.
Indeed. So,
Bobby Davro.
I mean, to be honest, all she's missing is the Lucy from St. Louis.
I
But they're lovely. If anything, they don't quite capture the magic of the Fred and Ginger spark in this story of mistaken identity. So the show was bloody good, but it left me thinking, oh, there could have been a little bit more there.
Let me ask you this.
Go
let
on.
me ask you this. All right, Fred and Ginger, Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, iconic, extraordinary dancers, and as she said, I'm doing everything that Fred Astaire is doing, but I'm doing it in heels and backwards. So that was always a great quote. But a modern generation, right? We would watch it on a Sunday afternoon with our, well, you're younger than me, but mum and dad, the television would show some crappy old black and white film and some nice ones, and then you'd sit there. That was your entertainment on TV. But modern people with 1,000 channels to choose from and YouTube and everything, don't have the faintest idea what Top Hat is. It's meaningless.
Indeed, and it's interesting because actually when it closes at Chichester and it's on in Chichester until September the 7th, it is then going on a tour. Right the way through. Obviously, it's going to pause over Christmas because pantomimes will fill up all of the regional.
Oh no, they won't.
Boom, boom.
Hey, thank
it's
you.
at Chichester until September the 7th, and it is touring well into 2026. So clearly,
Good.
And I hope that the producers' faith in the British market is there. But to be honest, it's only going to be in each place for a week or so. So
Okay.
that's a sensible. I don't though, for example, see this one coming into the West End.
Well, it's up against enormous, huge budgeted monsters,
It's
isn't it? What's the point?
the song and dance is world it's world class. It's
Okay.
fantastic.
Okay.
Where the performances, the acting is off the scale is the more elderly, the more senior couple, Madge and Horace Hardwick, who are played here by Sally Ann Triplett and
Oh,
Clive Carter.
Sally Ann Triplett.
Yeah,
Excellent. Excellent.
absolutely.
Solid.
These two, as I wrote, are just a crowd whooping delight. They
Great.
are curmudgeonly contempt that has been for each other, that is
Yeah.
bottled and cannot be beaten on stage. The jokes in the show are as old as the movie. You can see the punchlines coming a mile off.
They telegraph them ahead.
But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. These two are just a joy. I found myself crying with laughter at the oldest jokes in the book. They put the humor back into humanity.
Oh, good line.
Indeed.
Do you know what I've just realised? I've just realised something. I was sitting here and I'm fascinated by this. I'm thinking, where did I meet Dorothy Atkinson? It was your first review. She was Cinderella. I was Buttons. That's how long ago it was.
Wow. You were Buttons.
Go figure that.
Quite. She was Cinderella. Good Lord.
She was Cinderella.
Because of course she's more casting material for the Wicked Godmother,
Well,
Stepmother,
it was a
whatever
long
it would
time.
be.
It was
yes,
a long
quite.
time. What's that? What's the theatre on the Euston Road called? I forget.
The Shaw Theatre?
Yeah, that's where we did it. Shaw Theatre.
Yeah. Look, Top Hat is a delightful night at the theatre. And when Sally Ann Triplett and Clive Carter get going, you'll be crying with laughter. And when you're not crying with laughter, your breath will be taken away by the stunning song and dance routines of the show.
Big tap numbers? Got big tap numbers?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we are. I'm sold.
Massive. You'll come out with a grin on your face. It's good fun. The music is delivered gorgeously. You look and think, gee whiz, what a genius Irving Berlin was to have scribbled all those songs. Good fun.
Yeah.
And let me move on to my final show. And finally, Esther,
Esther, here's a potato shaped like a.
Yes. Anyway, I think it's pronounced inter alia.
Inter alia, yeah.
Inter alia, yes, the legal phrase. From written
amongst other things.
Indeed. Written by Susie Miller, who a few years ago wrote a rather stunning piece of theatre called Prima Facie. Inter alia, Prima Facie was set in in the legal world. Inter alia, equally set within the legal environment of the United Kingdom, focuses on a woman who is the lead character, Jessica Parks. She is a Crown Court judge. Mm-hmm. She's married to a high-flying KC. I still can't get my head around the phrase KC, honestly.
And I tell you, I miss Her Late Majesty more with every passing day.
Indeed. God bless her. She's married to a high-flying KC. They have a son who's a teenage lad. And without going into any spoilers, because I need to tread really carefully and not ruin anything, the story evolves into an allegation of their son having committed a sex crime. I'm really trying to be vague about this.
Okay,
there are whiffs here. I don't know if you saw the TV show Adolescence.
I refuse. Anything that Keir Starmer thinks is a documentary and is actually made up fiction.
So there is a whiff.
Not going to be on my telly.
There is a whiff of, but where Adolescence touched upon a young lad who came out of a working class family. And there are a number of comments made, particularly about how the racial profile of that family was, which was entirely white. Similarly, again, in
Yeah,
Inter
funny
Alia,
that.
I'll make the same observation. But of course, this isn't at the sharp end of life. This is a very privileged couple. She's a judge, he's a KC.
Yeah.
The acting, it's a one act piece of theatre, so no
Okay.
interval, an hour and 40. And playing the judge, Jessica Parks, is Rosamund Pike.
I love
And
her. Oh, I
she is,
love her. Yeah,
Russ,
she's
I have to tell you,
great.
I've got a couple of minor niggles with the story. I found the ending in particular a little bit incredible, for literally lacked a
Yeah.
tad of credibility.
Yeah.
But the acting, the script is brilliant, I have to say, for the most part. And Susie Miller, she'd, in the tiniest bit of nuance and throwaway comment, you get a glimpse into the increasing grief that we see this judge as a wife, more importantly as a mother, go through as her son's journey plays out through the story. Rosamund Pike is off the scale brilliant.
She is
So
excellent.
I think it's sold out, so I don't even think you're going to get any tickets at the National, to be honest, which is where it's at the National until September.
Where is it that we can't go?
At the National, it's at the Littleton Theatre in the National, which is obviously does not charge silly West End prices by any means. You're not likely to get a ticket. If you want to queue for a return, and I suppose I would say yes, do queue for a return. If a tough evening about family challenges, feminism, sexual violence, and real big moral questions.
Who plays? Who's her husband in this?
Her husband is Jamie Glover, who's Julian Glover's son.
Oh, Julie, I was going to ask that.
So Jamie, I mean, he's now obviously chappy. Jamie Glover in his 50s absolutely nails the role, delivering, as I wrote, a stunning take on middle-aged husbandry and fatherhood, with his own, failings and flaws that he faces up to through the play.
And hopefully he won't drink from the wrong chalice.
Ho, 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 boom, boom. Indeed. What a dad. What a performance his dad gets.
He was doing all right till he picked the wrong one. Yeah.
So that is Inter Alia. So all in all, the last few weeks, I've seen theatre that has ranged from the good through to the downright bloody brilliant.
Fantastic.
That makes it a pleasing, and even then, there's quite a chunk of stuff that I've not been able to get to, unfortunately. But there's a lot of good stuff out there. It's not all at top dollar prices. Top Hat's provincial, so that's affordable. Sing Streets in Hammersmith, that's affordable. Adam's Family, affordable. The White Chip, affordable. Till the Stars Come Down, well, that is now in a West End location. But there's a lot of good, affordable theatre out there, and an awful lot of it is bloody brilliant. On that note,
well, Jonathan, that is a potpourri, a mélange, a buffet of marvelousness. Anyway, I ran out of things to say because I'm on a lot of drugs. Anyway, Jonathan, thank you so much.
Thank you, and I wish you well.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much, fella. Thanks for all you do. Bye. We love him, don't we? Anyway, I'm keeping myself very, very small, because someone's coming on who needs to be on a big screen. If I had IMAX, I would put her on the IMAX screen. I would sit in the front row with binoculars. Ladies and gentlemen, you know her, you love her. Chantal Rickards OBE.
I don't need an IMAX screen, please.
You do need an IMAX screen, right?
No.
This is nice.
No.
Are you on location? What are you doing here? You're doing like
I want
Homes Under the Hammer? Are you producing Homes Under the Hammer suddenly, or what are you doing? Antiques road trip?
No, I am in North Wales on my annual bucket and spade holiday.
Oh yeah. God, that's come round again. Gee,
round again. Exactly.
Bless you for interrupting your holiday. That's so sweet.
No, not at all. No. I am in a cottage overlooking the most beautiful beach on earth. This is my happy place. And I came up here this morning because I've got no internet in the cottage that I've been renting. So I just had to do a bit of a repo at about 10:30 this morning.
Okay. So
I'm just
marvelous.
Yeah, overlooking the bay.
How absolutely beautiful. And again, I'm serious. Thank you for cutting into your holiday. The whole family with you? Everybody there?
One son is coming up on Sunday. The other one is studying for exams. But they're about, I think they're about, well, over the week, this week, there have been about 35 of us, which is
Good
a
God.
full show this year. There are normally about 45 of the family, but this year I think we were
45?
Yeah, only made it to about 35 this year.
Oh, shame. You're looking at my family. You're looking at it here.
Oh, no.
A couple of things
not
I want to say
really.
before we kick off. There's a couple of things I do want to say.
Yeah.
I had a wonderful phone call today from my friend Keith Bishop. Keith's been in to see James Whale a few times. Keith and I go back like 35 years. He's one of my closest mates. James is, as you know, in the hospice, and we wish you. He's so brave, and I wanted to get that in now. And Nadine is being amazing. But Nadine's being amazing as well. So, bless them both.
They all are. It's sort of remarkable. I saw him a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't quite know what he wanted to chat about, and he just wanted to chat about his funeral. And I let him chat, and we talked about it as if it was a sort of television production going back to our old TV days.
That's so hard on you. I mean, putting my mental health hat on it, it kind of is. I mean, you've known him forever. You've worked with him forever. You broke him on TV, and now let's chat about my funeral. I mean, I'm feeling rough, but I don't want to be chatting about my funeral just yet, I'll be honest with you.
No.
I hope you don't have to.
But anyway.
Anywho.
What he wanted to chat about, so anyway.
Bless him, and I wanted to say that now before everybody else piles in. What's come across your purview?
Oh, well, all sorts this week, actually. I've sort of been catching up on a few things and also seeing the new stuff that's coming out. The best of which, the absolute very, very, very best of which you are, I know, going to absolutely enjoy, is the new offering from Amazon Prime called The Assassin. Have you read about it yet?
I've seen the adverts on all the sides of buses and things. Yeah.
Exactly. The promotion that's going on is crazy. But it's normally, I mean, the publicity team inside broadcasters and film companies, that all the money goes behind the really good stuff. So if you see it being promoted, the chances are it's really worth seeing.
Unless it's a Star Wars spin-off, because it'll be
yeah. I mean, you've got to know what you like. But in this case, I think all the publicity and all the hype and all the chat show appearances and everything else are absolutely justified.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's a 6-parter. It's a thriller. It is about a former assassin, strangely. That's why it's called The Assassin. And more strangely, Keely Hawes is that person. We found her in her sort of menopausal / post-menopausal stage of life. I'm not quite sure why the publicity is emphasizing that, but she is a woman of a certain age.
To get the female demographic, probably.
Very possible. I don't think it adds particularly to the storyline.
It's a bit odd.
Basically, she's a washed-up assassin. She's living in Greece, pretty much off the grid. There is a reason that we don't yet know about why she hasn't seen her son for the last 4 years. The actress Keely Hawes, I think, is heaven sent.
She's great.
One of our,
terrific.
She's brilliant.
Yes,
and her son is played by a very nice British actor who's been working in American television for a long time, called Freddie Highmore, who plays in The Good Doctor, where he plays the part of an autistic doctor. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but
no, because it's a medical thing, so I don't watch them.
It's a medical thing.
I never watch stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's incredibly popular, and he's been nominated.
Oh, I know. No, it's a big show.
Yeah. He's a very good, nice actor in his early 30s from London. I think he went to Cambridge University. He's clearly an intelligent guy, and he plays the part of the son. But it's beautifully done. They play so well together as slightly dysfunctional mother for a variety of reasons we're going to find out.
Well, probably being an assassin doesn't help. I'm going out on a limb here.
So clearly the son doesn't know that. Yeah, clearly the son doesn't know that yet. He also doesn't know who his father is. So that's another backstory that we have to start beginning to grapple with. And then on top of which, right at the beginning of this, you find she receives a phone call from her original handler, who she has not spoken to for a very, very long time. And he wants her to do one last job.
Of course, always. They always just one and then you're out. Just the last one.
Yeah. But it's sassy, it's cheeky, it's witty, there are slight laughs in it, so I mean, the body count is remarkably high. Forget the body count, because that's all a bit silly. So it's sort of played to the max. It's a little bit James Bond in the old days, which was you dial up the comedy a little bit, and actually you don't mind the body count so much. So and that's a fine line to tread in drama, because you don't want to drift completely into the ridiculous, because somehow you can't watch it if it's gone too bonkers.
Like the Marvel films, where they just thought they were being, initially it was okay, and then they thought they were being funny. It's like, oh, please get another writer, for God's sake.
Yeah, but we're better at this stuff. We're better at this stuff.
We are.
And this is really well written. It looks incredible. Some really, really good camera work. It's had everything bar the kitchen sink thrown at it money-wise.
Okay.
So far, it's taking place in Greece, although there's a backstory from Bulgaria from 1994, but that hasn't sort of got into the main body of the story by the end of episode 1.
Kimmy, it means the number of people who are killed during the story. That's what body count means. The number of people who are blown up, shot, or whatever. That's what it means. There you go.
It does. That's exactly what it means. But the premise of the story is ridiculous, but really good. It hooks you instantly, as any good drama should.
Oh, good.
Keely Hawes is fab. What's not to like about her?
No,
and Freddie
nothing.
Highmore, it's a very good pairing. Whoever put them together really had a bloody good idea of what
probably
would
an
make
excellent casting director somewhere.
an excellent casting director somewhere. So I am definitely going to watch the next 5 episodes over the next 24 hours.
All right, that's good. And it's on Amazon? It's on Amazon?
It's on Amazon Prime. It is on Amazon Prime,
yeah,
and very, very definitely worth watching. So lots
I
of twists.
I found a strange little documentary.
Oh, did you?
Very
What was
quickly.
it?
It's called either Death by Text or Murder by Text. And
Oh, I
it's
saw it
two-
advertised.
yeah, it's very interesting. It's a 2-parter on channel. Oh God, I think it's channel 5.
Yeah.
And somehow or other, here's the it's real. It's not made up. They managed to international criminals, huge drug smugglers. I mean, like millions and millions, but use a special encrypted communication system on their phones.
Yeah.
The police somehow, being geniuses, managed to crack it. So they could read every single message that all these criminals were sending to each other around the world. Britain,
Incredible.
Ireland, Netherlands, France, you name it. This huge network. And it's 2 parts, Philip. It's 2 parts. It's on 2 parts. And it's jaw-dropping. It's absolutely jaw-dropping. The audacity of these people, the money that's involved, building torture chambers. I mean, just what the hell?
And it's the British police who are unraveling this.
It's a complete international Interpol, the French police, the British police, and then they find out one of the team on the British police task force is corrupt.
Oh no.
Is corrupt. And they've got to keep poker faces, because they're all sitting staring at screens, because there's thousands of lines of code and messages coming up, knowing that the person sitting next to them could well be the traitor. It's all real. It's not made up. I know. And I was sitting there going, oh my God. And how they track it all down and the denouement is extraordinary. Anyway,
well, that's fascinating. Apparently, the British police seemingly are very good with cybercrime.
They were great. They really were great. But of course, the French, being the French, immediately wanted to cut the British out when they heard they met with somebody who's compromised. So, French. What do you expect? Anyway, there we are. So that's on Channel 5, I believe it is. I think it's called Murder by Text or Death by Text. Anyway, there you go.
Okay.
That's me.
I will definitely look it up. Thank you for that. Well, I was going to also mention another documentary. I'm sort of quite high on documentaries that I've been watching in the last week or 10 days, which is very odd. I'm sort of quite into religion. I'm sort of interested in religion. I'm interested in extreme religions.
But you're not religious. I mean, when you say, just to clarify,
I'm
you're
not.
interested in you're not religious at all any more than I am, but we're interested in documentaries about it. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm interested in belief as an idea and what makes people believe in what they
As a
believe in. I mean,
concept,
just
yeah.
as an intellectual concept, I think it's
Oh, yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Anyway, there is a 2-part documentary on the BBC that came out earlier on this week called Inside the Cult of the Jesus Army, which meant nothing to me. I mean, it's a good, it's got all the right words to.
Saw it advertised,
stand out.
didn't get it.
Okay. So the Jesus Army was a thing. I mean, why? You and I should have known about it because apparently
No, not heard of it.
Been going around since the end of the 70s. It was set up by the least charismatic human being I think I have ever come across. No, I mean, it makes Keir
somebody
Starmer
can't be anybody with less charisma than him. It's impossible. You have to be dead. Anyway, go on.
Well, honestly, this guy, he's called something Stanton. I can't quite remember his name. Noel Stanton, whose background is sort of ordinary. I mean, completely ordinary. Sets himself up as a lay pastor, and then decides to tell people around him that they should join his Christian fellowship, which basically takes off and becomes one of the most extraordinary but also appalling religious cults. And it was British, and I didn't know anything about it. Cutting to the chase very quickly so that you can see where the 2 hours goes. It ended up with accusations of paedophilia of 529 victims. And I just sat there and I thought, why do I not know this story? Why?
Well, that's another can of worms you've just opened up. There we are.
No, but it does go back through all the publicity it received from all the national press over the last 35 years or 40 years. Yeah. I thought I must have been asleep or just reading the wrong newspaper.
I don't remember it. It's really interesting. Now, Liz Saw saying, we covered this last week at work, that's at the BBC, because it happened in Northampton where she works out.
Absolutely.
Fascinating, but really creepy. And Liz and Chantal, it went over my head. I'd never heard of it. If I had, I'd forgotten about it.
No, it meant nothing to me. His name didn't mean anything to me. I mean, the man is no longer alive. The religious sect has morphed into something else. Clearly, they've banished and banned people from taking part in it, who were of a paedophile tendency. So that side of it has gone completely. But it was very odd. I mean, the way that the documentary unfolds, you sort of think. You get about 5 minutes in. In fact, I think it might have even been in the sort of the headlines at the front. It says something about, we're going to give our genitals to Jesus. And that's where I thought, oh my God, we're on a ride here.
We're going to give what?
We're going to give our genitals to Jesus.
Oh,
it's a line. It's not a line I've ever used in my life, but there you go.
Oh, Christ.
Bizarre.
Damn.
And this from the
which channel is this on? Because Kimmy wants to watch it. BBC. There we are, Kimmy. It's BBC.
Two-parter. It's sort of fascinating. It's one of those things, again, you feel slightly grubby when you get to the end of it, but you just think, we mustn't let this stuff happen again. If we hear about this stuff, we've got to talk about it and get it out there to make sure that there aren't weird people in weird houses.
Let me ask, were there repercussions for the perpetrators?
Well, that's a really good question. Well, the fact that you and I don't know about it suggests that there weren't national repercussions in terms of, trying to ban something like this or understand it better, or maybe not. And the guy died 10 years ago, at least 10 years ago anyway. And somebody has sort of dusted off this story from all these years ago and brought it to the fore. So I'm not sure that there were any real repercussions other than for the victims. And of course, the victims are baked into this story. And one thing that I've never seen before is where they've intercut the documentary story with the therapy session that 4 of the victims are receiving with a therapist.
Really?
Yeah, so the
A
psychotherapy.
bit intrusive.
Well, it is, but it's quite cleverly done because you're never more than 30 seconds away from being reminded who the victims are, which I think is quite clever, because often you just get story, and you don't think about the victims, but here you do. Anyway, it's the BBC are pretty good at this stuff. And it's a two-parter. If it's absolutely not up your street, simply don't turn it on, because bits of it are pretty hardcore, although they don't go into the detail in a really prurient way.
Yeah, well, thank goodness you don't need to.
Yeah,
you don't need
anyway.
to. Anyway,
So
bring back the death penalty for paedophiles. That's what we say.
I'm not going to comment on that. But
I know you won't, but you know where I stand on that. That's what I think.
No, because I've lived in America, and the death penalty frightens me to death. It literally frightens me to death. Every pun intended.
It frightens them to death.
Yeah, I'm not sure literally. It does, to be honest.
Well,
anyway,
what the hell?
I wanted to talk to you about Live Aid only because whilst I was sitting around not doing an awful lot over the last couple of weeks and sort of getting into holiday mode, I watched Live Aid. Did you rewatch it when it came out?
No, absolutely not.
Put it out a couple of weeks ago.
No,
well,
pretty bothered.
I was sort of fascinated by it because clearly I watched it all those years ago.
Yeah,
that summer's
afternoon. Was it 40 years? Was it 40 years?
40 years ago.
Jeez.
First of all, I wanted to know where you were and what you were doing on the day, but also what you remembered of it.
I can tell you I was at home. Oh, Kimmy Lashmar was there. I was at home.
Yes.
And then I got bored and I took my lovely dog, my collie cross Coco, for a walk. And as I was walking my lovely little Coco for a walk, Phil Collins' Concorde flew overhead.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because the noise was phenomenal from those 4 Olympus turbofan engines. So I looked up and there was Phil Collins going from London over across to Philadelphia. And then I went back. And of course, the best thing about it, I don't care what anybody says, was the 20 minutes of Queen that absolutely stole the show. Good God, well, Kimmy Lashmar is saying this. Talk about squaring the circle. Russ, it was the week after my trip in the Flying Eye with you. Kimmy Lashmar. Bloody hell. 40 years ago. Wow.
That is incredible.
Wow. How well.
Well,
Liz, you can shut your face. I don't remember it at all. Probably too young.
Oh,
you're 89. Everybody knows. You're 89 years old. You've had a facelift. Shut up. Bless you. I loved some of it. Some of it I really didn't like. I'm going to just put my colours to the mast here. I have always loathed Bob Geldof. I loathed him. I then had a personal run-in with him very publicly once, and I thought he was as big a dick as I thought he was before I'd ever met him. And in fact, after I met him, I thought he was even worse. I loathe him.
Okay.
With a passion.
Good to know. He's not very user-friendly.
He's a horrible man. Sorry, I think he's an absolutely horrible. My interaction with him was so ludicrous.
No, it's really disappointing to hear.
Ludicrous in front of everybody, and I shut him down. Which I'm not proud of much of what I've done in my life, but in front of hundreds and hundreds of people, he tried to have a pop, and I shut him down.
Well, that aside, what I was going to say was, having rewatched the whole thing over a couple of nights when my lovely friend Margot Coleman, John O'Coleman was the former radio broadcaster, was in London a couple of weeks ago. And she came to stay for a couple of nights, and we watched Live Aid over those 2 nights because clearly we hadn't seen it for 40 years. And what is absolutely fascinating is that other than Queen in the UK, which was brilliant, all the good music was on the American stage in Philadelphia. They'd got all the bangers.
They got Led Zepp, didn't they?
They got everybody. I mean, the Who were over there. I mean, everybody you wanted to see was on the American stage. And we got the sort of slightly second tier people in London, not even playing their bangers. They were just playing whatever single it was that they were trying to promote. And I just looked at it with a producer's eye, and I just thought the whole balance of it was completely wrong. That the real fizz and froth and bubble was happening in America. And actually, the music that we got served up in the UK wasn't terribly good. Anyway,
Well,
Don't know.
the only thing I will say this before everybody screams. Paul McCartney, who, as we know, is God, David Bowie, who was God but died. You know, they were pretty good. There were some ropey old acts there, who were just lucky to be who were lucky to be there. It was a lot of froth and bubble. My question is, and I'm just going to put my hand right in the hornet's nest.
Strange that. Unlike you, Russ.
Well, I don't. At the moment, I'm on so many drugs. I don't care at the moment. What did it achieve? What did it actually achieve? Did it actually cure anything? Did it stop the problem? No.
No, it didn't stop the problem, but it did get into the public consciousness in a way that idea that the public should put their best foot forward, and as a global group that we could try and pull off betterment of society.
But since I was a child, I know that's not why you're here, but since I was a child, we have had this, you've got to donate to this, you've got to donate. So even as a kid, like 50, 60 years of this, and you think, well, and then you switch on the TV, you go to the smaller channels, and there's still these, you know, heartache, ball-busting video, you know, adverts in the breaks, because it's cheap advertising, let's be honest. You know, little kids slapping through the baking sun trying to get some water, and you think, wait a minute, for goodness sake, how much money does it take?
Well,
how much money does it take? Has anything changed? And that was my point. I thought, but the best thing about Live Aid, and the man who does need a huge pat on the back, Harvey Goldsmith, who put it all together, and bless him, what a guy, a guy for managing to control not just the complexity, but the enormous vaulting egos that were at play.
Completely.
Oh my God.
Anyway, must have been extraordinary, but there we are.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that aside, I also watched a terrific feature-length documentary on Sky and Now called My Mom, Jane, Jayne.
Oh, yeah, about Jane Mansfield. I'm dying to see that.
Okay, so
dying to see it.
So Mariska Hargitay, you know who she is.
Love her. Yeah. Dun dun.
The most well.
Can I do that again, please?
Yes.
Just say, ask me.
Mariska.
Dung dung.
Very good. Yes, she is the highest paid television actress in
and
Hollywood.
Longest running. It's the long. Is it not? Am I going mad? The longest running sort of drama series, Law and Order.
20. I think there are 26 series.
Yeah, I mean,
of
it's amazing, and it's terrific. Every story's fantastic. The acting, the plot, just take my hat off to them. They're marvelous.
I used to watch Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
I love that. SVU.
Yes, SVU. I watched a lot of it for many years, and eventually I thought, I cannot take any more
grief.
No, take any more drama about violence towards women. I just I've got to stop watching.
It's like swimming through a sewer. It is like swimming through a sewer, isn't it? I mean,
anyway, she is fab.
Yeah,
and her mother was the most intelligent dumb blonde. That's how people now remember her. Her act was as a dumb blonde actress. Yeah. In fact, she was incredibly talented. She spoke 5 languages. She played the violin. She tried at one stage to try and sort of remodel herself from being dumb, sexy, size 40 chest blonde into clever, interesting woman. And actually the movie
guys don't want that. Too late.
So she had to go
pneumatics. She was, let's not kid ourselves, back in the day she was the Jane Mansfield, the pneumatic, over the top sex goddess, and that's what she was. And it's very difficult to go from that, actually, you know what, I'm meant to, I speak like, no one cares at that point. Very difficult. You can't reverse that ship.
No. And indeed, she had interesting relationships with lots of interesting people. I think she and Marilyn Monroe at one stage were sort of vying to see how many famous people that they could have a relationship with. Anyway, the cut and thrust of this film is this 2-hour biography of Jane Mansfield through the eyes of her family, including Mariska Hargitay. Mariska Hargitay is the daughter of...
he was a bodybuilder, and oh God, what was his name? Right. Joe?
Well, he was called Mr. Hargitay. Mickey.
No, I know that, but he was a bodybuilder. He was a... God.
He was Mr. Universe.
Yeah, he was a bit buff, you know. Yeah.
He was. Except
think of me and think the exact opposite. That was him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you see Mariska with her brothers and sisters, and you see Mariska looking actually not very like her brothers and sisters, it starts to beg a question as to what was going on at the time. Ooh. And this documentary is revelatory because it unfurls very gradually the impressions that you get, or the understanding that you get through the siblings about or the children of Jane Mansfield, about their mother and how her life unraveled, and she was killed at the age of 34, leaving behind 5 small children, is astonishing. It's not mawkish. It is sentimental in that the children are very moved by going through her old scrapbooks, etc., etc. But it's really well done. It's a very, very classy documentary. It's very well edited. It's been handled with care because clearly the family wanted everything to be appropriate, which is lovely. But I think it's worth watching. I think you'll like it. So
I'm fascinated by that era. And can we dismiss one urban myth? Jane Mansfield was killed in a car accident. It was a convertible, and the urban myth is that she was decapitated. She was not decapitated. No. Her wig, in the accident, her wig came off.
Is that right?
Right. And that was on the road, and everyone said, she was never decapitated. But they found Mariska later, because no one had seatbelts in those days. It was some big Cadillac or convert, about the size of Brent Cross with a wheel on each corner. Yeah. And they found her. She'd gone under the seat with the impact of the crash. They didn't find her for ages.
Yeah. So basically, her brothers who were in the car, 2 of her brothers, I think, were in the car. And it was only when they got to the hospital, they started saying, "Where is our sister?" That somebody said, "Hang on, somebody's missing," and they went back, or they got a message back to the accident site, and that's when they looked through the car again and they
found her.
Yeah.
She's a terrific actress as well.
She's a terrific actress. She's also a human being with the same hopes and loves and dreams and frailties that we all have, and a relationship with a strange relationship with a mother who she was 3 when her mother died. That all she remembers is her mother touching her hair one morning when she was having breakfast cereal or something. Other than that, she has none of her own memories of her mother.
No, that's so true, isn't it?
Yeah.
The weird.
And I filmed at her home, at Jane Mansfield's home, because she had a very famous heart-shaped swimming pool.
Swimming pool, yeah.
Yeah.
What an era.
Yeah, it had Jane and Mickey, I think, written in the bottom of the swimming pool. I can't quite remember.
J&M, I think, or something like that. There's a big monograph at the bottom, yeah.
But I filmed there because the house was bought
by filmed there?
Yeah, the house was bought by Engelbert.
And please release me.
I can release you anytime you like. So, yeah, I filmed there.
By Engelbert. Wow.
Yeah, I filmed there for Keyhole. It must have been 94 or 95. It was just after one of the last big LA earthquakes, because there were cracks everywhere in the plasterwork in the house. And in fact, the house was razed to the ground when Engelbert sold it to a developer in 2002.
That was to make way for the bicyclettes to Bell size. I'll keep doing Engelbert gags until Kimmy Lashmar. I think it's called Death on the Dark Web, or Death by Text, or something like that. That's what it's called. Where do we find the Jane Mansfield doco?
Jane Mansfield is on Sky and Now.
Okay, I don't have Sky. Yeah. I might be able to get Now.
No, I think you've got Now.
No, I had Now, and I stopped it to save money. To be honest, I stopped it to save money. I really did.
No.
Yes, there's only so many Well, Phil Dave has stopped everything.
I know.
Phil stopped absolutely everything. He said it's ridiculous. I need to save some money, and
Fair
when
enough.
you look at all the bits and pieces that go out every month, you think, well, I don't really need this. I can live without that. Blah 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 blah.
Anyway, come to my house. I'll watch
well,
it again.
I don't. Well, when I'm better, I will. By the way,
Right.
I just got to say, I don't know if did you watch any of it? The Great British Professional Bake Off thing,
No.
which is usually on when I'm having my supper. Bloody marvelous. Bloody
Oh, good.
It was really good. Well, it was really well done. Although I have to say, two of the presenters were utterly superfluous and really rather annoying. One particular.
Which two presenters?
Oh, well, I don't want to get into a whole hoo-ha, but they really had no role to play at all. And the two experts were two experts. And I don't know why they keep having to think you've got to have somebody who doesn't know what they're doing so they can do the odd funny line, which is so hokey.
A bit nauseating. I know.
Well, I just thought, what are you doing there? I like the people. I'm sure they're absolutely charming. I'm not being rude about them. I just you're formatting the show, and you think, why do you have to pepper it with, inconsequential nonsense?
Oh well, it works for the audience.
I guess it does. It was very, very good. It was extremely entertaining and it's kind of educational, and it was one of those things you think, I can just about open a McVitie's biscuit. You look what the hell you're making. What planet? You're like godlike. Oh, hang on, Philip. Thank you. It is on Channel 4. I'm sorry, Kimmy. I'm on a lot of drugs and painkillers. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's Russ, by the way, Philip. Russ, RUSS. It's short for Russell. Not meaning to be picky. Operation Dark Phone. Yeah, Operation Dark Phone. Murder by Text. It's on Channel 4. My apologies. Not Channel 5 at all. Channel 4. Sorry, Kimmy. I've wasted your time.
Okay.
There we are. Chantal, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful holiday. It looks enjoy. Have a great time.
We wish you well for your little repair job.
Well, I'm on tenterhooks because I had to have the prelim, and they test you top to toe, and I'm making sure that I haven't got anything that means they're going to have to delay the whole damn thing. Bye. Enjoy your break with only 275 members of the Rickards family there. They're unbelievable. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, isn't she great? I'm going to make myself bigger. There we are. Does that work? That doesn't work at all. Does that work? No, I'm going to stay small. That's how I'm feeling at the moment. Anyway, thank you, Kimmy. That's it for me for a while. I'm not quite sure when I will be back. The shows will be continuing. I will have set them up. So you'll have Neil Long, you'll have Phil Dave, you'll have Chantal, you'll have all the gang. And Michelle Vaughan down in Sydney, Australia, is telling Chantal, suitcase packed and ready to go. Marvelous. I'm ready to go, but I think that's some of the medicine I'm taking. All right. So, God willing, I will see you again in a couple of weeks or something like that. Take care. Thank you so much for being part of the Midday Show family. Look after Neil and Chantal and Liz and everybody else, and Phil Dave while I'm away. Until then, no hurty words. You know what happened. All right. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.